I did participate in the adoption of the current master plan, and while I was a planning board member, I used this document as guidance for particular projects, where they go. If I become a town councilor, I'm going to continue that, especially when it comes with regards to zoning changes. The planning board does not make zoning changes. They recommend those changes to the town council. And as a town councilor, I would now be on the other side and be actually voting on those decisions or not. Also, regarding planning and development, supporting in any way I can the commercial and industrial development of those areas around this town that there are opportunities for that. Of course, Exit 5 comes to mind, Route 28, Route 102, and of course the industrial land up by the airport. I want to do what I can to work with our planning department, our public works department, the planning board, and developers and so forth, and see what we could do to get those lands opened up and get that development done, because ultimately, over the next decade, that's going to be key to tax relief for the citizens of this town. The final thing I wanted to discuss briefly is about the rural character of this town. That's one of the things that first attracted me to Londonderry. You know, when I first drove through this town, I remember right before I closed on my house, I had to come into town for a home inspection, and I was earlier, and I'm driving around, and it was the trees and the greenery and just the overall character of the town. And I want to make sure that we do what we can to preserve that as much as possible. I want to make a point too about, we really have a true gem in this town with the Musquash and our other conservation areas. Areas along, like say, Kendall Pond Road, by South Road there, the Bockies Forest in the south part of town, our apple orchards. These are true areas, and we're setting aside these areas for future generations. So my son and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren, if they're in this area, could still enjoy these decades or even a century from now. I mentioned earlier that I was on the Open Space Task Force, so I helped the team there identify some parcels and so forth that could potentially be used for open space in the future through a couple of different mechanisms. I support that. I support open space in this town. I do want to mention, though, that the capital improvements planning process should be followed for that. We should not, we should make sure that we get that in that rolling window so we know when we could afford to purchase that property based on other higher priority projects. However, we must also think that land is not being produced anymore. We have to keep in mind that land that may be suitable for open space may be developed, and if we wait 10, 15, 20 years, it's not going to be there anymore. And my final point about that is that I do respect the rights of landowners. That's a fundamental right in the United States of America, that you should be able to do with your land as you see fit, within, of course, the confines of our zoning ordinances and our subdivision ordinances and so forth. But I have no intention of supporting, violating landowners' rights. But working with them and seeing what we could do to preserve the character of this town, I think is going to be an important role for a town council in the future. So I just want to conclude with a couple thoughts about the election. If elected, I can only promise you that I will be ethical and fair in the decisions that I make, and I will always give you, the citizens of this town, the highest priority. I'm not doing this for myself. If I was selfish, I wouldn't even be entering this race. I'd stay home at night, work on my car, or do whatever fun things I want to do. I'm willing to make that sacrifice for the next 3 years, and I'm looking forward to it if elected. I wanted to mention about the other candidates. There are 4 strong candidates in this election. Any of them are going to serve you well. I respect each and every one of them, and I commend them all for their service to the town, and I thank them for stepping up to the plate. Honestly, I was really excited to see that there were so many people who were interested in this. I'm not going to disrespect any of them by being negative in this campaign. I think they deserve better than that, and I'm not going to do that to them. What I ask you to do is hear what each of them has to say. I hope you like what I have to say and will consider voting for me. I don't really feel like I'm running against them. I'm running for you. And I have to remember that there's 2 positions out there, not one. And one of these people, if I'm elected, I'm going to be working with for the next 3 years. And I want to start off right out the gate with their respect. So as I said, you as the voter are going to have chances to vote for 2 town councilors. And you should do that. Personally, I'm going to be looking at the other candidates as well because I'm going to need to vote for 1 more of them. Of course, I'm going to probably vote for myself, but I'll probably look closely at the other candidates and decide who I'll vote for. But I assure you this, win or lose, I'm going to continue to serve the town of Londonderry as a volunteer in local organizations, continue my role on the planning board. I love this town, and getting elected to the town council, while I would love to do it, it's not a means to an end to me. I will continue to serve this town wherever I can. Finally, whether you vote for me or not, please get out and vote on Tuesday, March 11th. This is your town, and you have a say, and you need to get out there and vote. And finally, take Saturday, come down to town meeting. It's fun, it's enjoyable. Meet your neighbors, and come voice your opinion on the subjects that are before you. You, the citizens, make the decisions at town meeting. So please, please come down to town meeting and vote. Finally, I just wanted to close with telling you how you could get in touch with me if you have any questions, or if you're interested perhaps in posting a sign for me, if you support me, you could contact me. I have a website. It's www.votepauldimarco.com. You can email me at my personal email address. It is pdimarco, that's DIMARCO 65 @gmail.com. And finally, feel free to give me a call at home. I'm usually home in the evenings if I'm not off at a meeting or at one of my volunteer activities. My number is 432-9632. That's 432-9632. If I'm not there, leave me a message, leave a phone number, a good time to call you maybe during the day and in the evening, and I'll try to call you back as soon as I can. Your opinions are valuable to me. That's all I have to say. Make sure you get out there and vote. I hope you'll vote for me. And thank you very much for your time and this opportunity to serve you.